Who's your emergency contact? Who should we notify in the case of death? Welcome to the USP, where I spent the last 2+ decades of my life. As we go, and as I continue to share these stories with you, I'm just going to take you through the course of my day, the course of my time there. You're on the yard with me, and we're walking through the yard and doing whatever it is that I'm doing. I just got let back out of the SHU. I went in there September, October, November, December, January. I was in there over 5 months, and they let me out 1 week before the Super Bowl, maybe like a week and a half before the Super Bowl. So when I come out of the SHU, I have my homeboy, Joe Wells, the white boy that was my poker partner. He's still running the poker table, but somehow we had a table on yard 3. When you come into yard 3, on the corner of yard 3, there's 3 tables that's close to the east side where I live. And then there's 3 tables across the yard next to the fence on the west side. Well, my table is over here on the east side, on one of the 3 tables over there I run my poker game. Well, when I come back out, country, Joe Wells, he's playing on the other table over there. And my homeboy, Bao, Eddie, and Tim, they're running a poker table over here by the east side. So when I come out of the SHU, Eddie and them pull me up and say, hey, whenever you're ready, you can get your table back and run your game. Because they've been running the game the whole time I've been locked up. But, I'm so grateful for the respect that my homies have for me. No matter how often I go to the SHU or whatever happens, they always reserve that table for that table has my name on it. Not literally, but everybody on the compound recognize that's my poker table. And regardless if I go to the SHU or whatever it is that happens, when I return, they always give it back. So Bao, Tim, and Eddie, they're running a poker table. It's a credit game, week to week. Some people always ask, how can you even run a credit game? Don't you worry about people running off on you, owing you bills, this and that? Yeah, those things happen. It's going to happen, but those things happen with a bunch of freaking lames. Real men, they're going to sit there, gamble, or whatever they do, and when the time comes to fulfill their obligation, they're going to honor it because their word is more valuable to them than dollars. There's always these broke-ass lames that's trying to come up on the credit table, and then when shit don't come up, and when shit don't work out for them, they run off and check in. And once you run off and check in, that's a smear on your character. Everybody's gonna know you're a piece of shit, you're a fucking check-in, you're a lame. So real men, they rather be out in the yard and get stomped out or have to go to war before they allow their name to be carried through the mud. But again, real men, they know their situation. They know the resources they have. And they're not going to sit there and gamble on ass. So for the most part, for the 7 years that I ran a poker table in Atwater, I had very little issue. I never had to beat up anybody over any debt they owed me. I never had to run anybody up top for any debt they owed me. And yeah, there's a few people that took off and ran and checked in and all that shit. But that's on them. That's not on me. I make so much money on the poker table that it doesn't hurt me. So when I come out, the homies are running the credit game week to week. And they're like, hey, man, let us finish out this week. And next week, you can play. And me being respectful to them, showing them the same respect they showed me, I said, look, I don't want the poker table back. I say, since you guys been running it for the last 5 months or whatever time that I was in the SHU, why don't we just alternate? 1 week you guys run, 1 week I'll run. But right now I have my money tied up in a ticket because while I was in the SHU, Fam, the homie Fam, was still running our football ticket. Like he's always, like I told you in prior episode, he's not a really sociable dude, but he's very honorable and he carries himself with absolute integrity. So I didn't have to be there on the compound to get my fair share of whatever our ticket was making. He was out here handling his business, doing everything that he was supposed to do. So when I come out, I had money that was saved, that we made off the football ticket, but all my money's in the football ticket. I don't want to pull it out and start my poker table. So I told him, hey, I got my money tied up. Let's just wait. I'll let you guys run it till after the Super Bowl. Once the Super Bowl is complete, that following Monday, I'll run it, and then we'll alternate week to week. So I sit down and play poker. And, the homies, they make fun of my poker game. They think I'm a very terrible poker player because I catch them in a bluff all the time. And they're like, how the hell you call my hand? You don't see the board? And so on and so forth. And I tell them the same thing. Every time they accuse me of saying that I suck at poker, I tell them, who just won the pot? If I'm so terrible at poker, how can I have been living off of it for the last 20 years? I don't have a job in the penitentiary. And any job I have, they're only paying me $5 a month. So through the course of my time, I survive on all the hustles, whether it's shooting dice, playing cards, or any other ventures that's available out there that I'll do an episode on one time of all the different hustles that you can do while you're in the penitentiary. But for the most part, I run poker games, I run dice games, I run football tickets. These are how I eat. So when I sat down that first evening, or not evening, in the morning, when I first sat down, we go out to the yard at 7:30. And we play till 10:30, and then they call us back in for lunch. Then we come back out after lunch at 12 o'clock and play all the way till 3. After 3 o'clock, the yard is split. They only do one side at a time, west side, east side. But during the day, both sides, west and east, can wreck together. So on this particular morning, I come out, and within 2 hours, I'm down 95 books. 95 books. You got to count. Each book of stamp is valued at $5. So that's $425 I'm down. So, but I don't like playing from behind. So I pull Bao, the Vietnamese homie, to the side that's running the game. It's him, Eddie, and Eddie Sua, Tim, and him that's running the game. So I pull Bao to the side. Me, when I run a credit table, this is just a Monday already. This is only a Monday. If somebody loses 90 books on me on a Monday, you can't, when you run a poker table and you have a full table every day, the math is going to come out like this. You're going to get one big winner, one little winner, and 4 to 5 big losers. So the whole time that I've ran a credit table week to week, because in there we cut 10% of the pot. So each hand, I'm getting 10% of the pot. So through the course of a week, and when it's credit, people bet a little bit more crazy because for somehow the money is fictitious, is fake until it's time to pay up. So the whole time I've ran a credit table, I've never, ever collected more than 50% from anybody. And the reason I do that is because of this. If you lose $500 to me, I tell you pay me $250. Even if you have the $500, I want you to have something. I don't want to take everything from you. Because, terminology, nick 'em, don't cut 'em. If I take the whole $500 from you, then you're just going to be sitting around looking stupid, because you're broke. So if you have 500 that you lost to me, and I only take 250 from you, you have 250 left to go and flip your money and hustle and do whatever you need to do and bring them winnings or bringing your hustle money back to my poker table and lose more to me. I have a set amount that I like to make a week that's going to take care of all my habits, vices, extracurricular activities. Once I meet that threshold, I can give deals to everybody else. One, it makes me look like I'm a nice guy and that they prefer to play at my poker table because if they lose big at my poker table, I'm going to cut them a good deal as opposed to some other poker table where they want everything. No one really understands how I was able to run a credit game, a poker table for 7 years straight in Atwater with no problems. Because other races, other cars, other gangs, they've come and tried to set up a poker table. And it never lasts more than 3 weeks. Whether it's dispute between the partners or because they get caught overcutting or cheating. There's always some type of scumbag shit that shuts their game down. Where my game is run with integrity. If you sit down at my table, homie, I'm not going to let nobody cheat you. And if somebody tries to do that bullshit at the table, it's understood. I don't politic. If shit happens over here, you try something over here at my table, I promise you, you're not going to leave the poker table. And it's not an empty threat. It's not even a threat. It's just the facts. And people understand that because being in the penitentiary for so long, I'm able to recognize scumbags as soon as I see them. So as soon as I see these dudes that have these tendencies within themselves, I pull them to the side and have a cordial conversation with them. I say, hey, I run a straight game over here. These players, these are how I eat. They come over here because they know I'm going to give them a fair shake. So if you're the type of person that has any type of, funny stuff with you, one, I suggest you don't even come around me. And two, if you sit down, I suggest you don't try anything because I promise you, anything that's not kosher, it's not ever going to leave this table. I don't go politicking to your people or none of that. I'm going to deal with you right here, right then, and make an example out of you. So, but me speaking to them, being upfront, letting them understand what is expected over here at my table helps alleviate a lot of that problem. And when they come in, our reputation on the compound already precedes us. Their homies, people around them is already telling you, hey, the Asian Islanders, this is what they're about over here. This is what they do. When you gamble, whatever, you're going to get all your shit. So don't go over there playing with them because if you do, they're going to deal with you. They don't have no problem with the funk. So in this particular morning, I lose 95 books. So I pull Bao to the side. I say, hey, Bao, how much you want me to bring you out? I just lost 95 books. And I'm expecting he's going to give me a deal like, hey, yeah, just bring me out 30 books and we'll call it even or whatever. So he doesn't say that. He talks about, oh, man, I got 3 people. It's me, Eddie. And I said, you know what? I don't want to even hear the excuses or any whatever it is, the reason why you're not trying to give me a deal. I tell you, no, I said, don't worry about it. I'll be back. So when he called the move, I ran into my block and I gave him 90 books. I owed him 95 books. I brought out 90 books. I said, here's 90 books. You can start me back at 0. Again, he's my homeboy. But again, I've ran credit games before. So the way I run it, all the love that I've shown to him since he's been playing with me before I went to the shoe, I'm thinking it's going to be, reciprocated. So I'm thinking when I hand him this 90 books, he's going to say, oh, here's 2 of it back. Here's 30, 40 books back. But now the motherfucker kept it all, right? Kept my whole 90 books. So I was like, But I'm not in a position to be upset about it or anything because that's their game. That's how they run their game. But of course, I'm in my feelings. So I said, all right, here you go. He accepts my 90 books. Well, we played, that's on a Monday. Well, by the time Friday came, because me and Bryson, we're partners. You know, we're partners in most of the things we do. So winning or losing, we cover each other or whatever. So I told Bryson, I said, hey, man, this motherfucker took every freaking stamp from me that I lost this morning. He said, we need to tighten up our game and let's hit him. So come Friday morning, I'm up $1,900 and Bryson's up $900, a total of $2,800 for the week. So Friday we settle the book. Monday is payday. So Monday comes, Bow comes on and said, hey man, you guys hit for, between you and Bryson, you guys hit for $2,800. How much of it do you want? I looked at him because it's comical that now that I'm the winner, he's asking what I want, hoping and expecting me to give him a deal. But I'm sure all you viewers know exactly what the fuck I told him. Yeah, I want every crumb, homie. Go ahead and wire that. So out of $2,800, we got $2,300. And the only reason we got $2,300 because Bryson brought out this vice lord dude that just came on the compound that plays poker to come play at the poker table. And this motherfucker lost $500 and ended up checking in. So I was like, man, Bryson brought this dude over and he checked in. I tell him, you know what? Don't worry about it. We eat that. Because Bryson brought him out. We'll take that loss. But the other $2,300, yeah, have that for us. So he ended up sending my wife, I think maybe $1,800. And then the other $500, he put it on Bryson and mine's books. So, but let me tell you about my, this is just about my poker game. So come Monday, it's my turn to run the freaking poker game. So I got Bow, I got Eddie, I got Timmy, I got a couple Puerto Rican dudes and a couple white boys sitting at the poker table. This is the regular, normal crowd that we play. We just gambling against each other. Monday, I start my week. By Wednesday, every single one of them dudes sitting on my table tapped out because they were all both down $1,200, $1,500 to me. But yet, they always make fun of my poker game. They couldn't even last a week with me. Welcome to the USP.